demonstration is called falling bubble, or you could say falling bubbles. These bubbles are going to be larger. Before we get into this and I start talking about what you need to run this demonstration, I want to mention that there is a safety video that I've added to the end of this demonstration video because you really should go through that before you work with dry ice. Okay, so make sure after watching this video you keep watching that. Materials that you need for this demonstration is obviously you're going to need to pick up some dry ice. You're going to need some dish soap. You're going to need a little bit of water. Actually, you're going to need a good deal of water. I'll show you where that's at here in a second. And then you're going to need some sort of a system for producing carbon dioxide gas, getting it to you. Now, I found someone trying to throw this away and I grabbed this right away. What it is it's a big container. We've got an outlet down here at the bottom, and I've got a cap that I can throw on the top. And the reason I like this is because I can take dry ice chunks, I can throw them in the top, and I can get my carbon dioxide gas coming out the bottom as I lean it sideways. If you don't have this, which you probably don't, you can make one. You can make one pretty easily. You could use a 2-liter bottle. And to get your dry ice in, you could either use a funnel and you could smash up your dry ice, get the dry ice down in there, or you could, as I did here to show you, you could cut out some of this, drop your dry ice chunks in, and then when it pops back out, just throw a layer of duct tape over it, and you're all set. Throw this right here in the top, and you've got a dry ice carbon dioxide producer. So dry ice is going to come out the hose and you could run this demonstration. Okay, so if you just have a 2-liter bottle, you could do that. Set that over there. Also, if you have some sort of little container like this right here with a top and you just want to either melt a hole or cut a hole in there the size of the hose, this would work really nice as well. You'll throw some little water in the bottom, you'll throw a chunk or two in here, put the top on, you've got your hose sticking in there, and carbon dioxide gas is going to be coming out. So this would be another nice setup if you don't have some sort of a container like that. Since I've got this, I'm just going to use this. Okay, we don't need any duct tape either. So what I've got is I've got a little dish here with some soap in there. I'm going to pour a little bit of water in and mix it around. Okay, so I've got a little bit of soapy water. That's going to help us with making the bubble around the carbon dioxide gas. So I'm going to set that off to the side. And inside of my large container here, I'm going to pour some water. So I have to tip this sideways a little bit. I'm going to pour some water in there. Exactly how much? You just need a little bit. I put maybe a cup or two in there. And I'm going to lean this back like that right there. So I'm going to attach this onto the end right there. And this thing is open. I can blow in this just to make sure. Yep, and it goes all the way through. All right, so now what's going to happen is as I drop dry ice down inside of here, which I'm going to do right now, I've got a chunk of dry ice. I'm going to throw it in here. Here's another large chunk that I'm going to throw in there. Now that chunk might be a little too big. I'm going to grab a smaller chunk here and grab another small chunk and a medium-sized chunk. There we go. All right, so I've got carbon dioxide gas that's being produced, or it's going from the solid state to the gaseous state. Okay, the fact that I've got water in there just makes it happen faster. And what I can do is I can put the top of this on here, and you can probably see coming out of here, I've got some carbon dioxide gas. All right, now I've got actually a lot coming out. This might be too much. You just want to make sure that you're not sealing up the bottom and the top of your container. If you seal the bottom and you shut this off and you shut the top, you've turned it into a bomb. Okay, that would be not a good thing. So I've got this. I don't think it's gonna move anywhere on me now. But let's see if I can take, oh, and this hose was just a normal hose, an old hose that I didn't need anymore, and I just cut that apart. So I'm gonna take this end and I'm gonna dip it down into the soap. And let's see here. There's a bubble, and these are falling downward. You'll notice that they are falling down. Pretty neat. Sometimes they pop right when they hit, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes this is coming out really, really quickly. So if you put less in, or if you wait till this slows down, you can sometimes get one of these bubbles to hit on the table, and then the next one will hit and bounce right on the top of it. Right now we're going a little too fast. Wait, maybe, oh, there we go. It bounces right off the top. So that's a pretty neat thing to do. Fun to do, fun to watch, fun to play with. It's kind of mesmerizing. And also, as you're doing this on the counter or the tabletop, whatever you're doing, as this area gets wetter and soapier around here, you'll get more of them sticking together like this. So it's fun to watch them bouncing off of each other, just like that. There you go. All right, this demonstration right here, so the falling bubble or falling bubbles, what's happening? We've got the dry ice that's sublimating. It's going from a solid to a gas. It's not stopping by the liquid state at all. It's going straight there. We added water in the bottom to surround the dry ice, which helps provide energy to the dry ice so that it changes over from solid to gas even faster. So that gas that's coming out is carbon dioxide gas, which is this right here. Most of the air around us is nitrogen. So we got a lot of nitrogen gas, we've got a lot of oxygen gas in there, and that gas is a lot lighter, less dense than carbon dioxide. So sometimes we think of bubbles as, you know, floating around, floating up, or if they're floating down, they're going to float down very slowly. Carbon dioxide right here, pure carbon dioxide, is a lot more dense. And that's why when you saw these bubbles, they fell down rather quickly. So that's the science behind this demonstration. That you just watched, I was working with dry ice. What I want to do is I want to talk about the safety of dry ice, but this is not all inclusive. I would encourage you to also check the safety data sheets on carbon dioxide on dry ice yourself. So let me tell you some of the things that I do, but I would encourage you to go above and beyond what I've got. Okay, so you notice I've got some safety glasses, goggles, those would be a nice thing to have. We also gloves. You should probably be having gloves for this if you're going to be handling them for a long time or applying some pressure, because dry ice right here, this sublimates, which means it goes from a solid to a gas at a very low temperature. So in Fahrenheit, that's negative 109.3 degrees Fahrenheit. In degrees Celsius, it's a negative 78.5 degrees Celsius. So this is really, really, really cold. So if you go outside on a snowy day, you know, you could get frostbite if you're out there for a long time. Or even if you have ice on you, you've got a little while. But with this right here, this dry ice, without gloves, if I set this in my hand, right about there, that's about how long you have until it's going to start hurting, because it could be harmful beyond that point. It could actually freeze your cells and we could have some serious damage. So as you're working with dry ice, you need to have gloves. Thin gloves like this aren't going to do the trick, even if you have gloves like this. So maybe some kitchen gloves for doing the dishes. This right here, it's not very thick and it's not going to protect you for very long. So warm gloves like this, snow gloves, or an oven mitt, those are things that will protect your hands if you're going to be working with this. Now, if you've worked with dry ice quite a bit, or if you want to work with dry ice quite a bit, and if you look at me right now, I've got the dry ice and I keep it moving. And if it keeps moving where it's not coming into contact with my hands for very long, then I'm okay. But again, if I take it and I set it right here, right about there, that's when it's going to start to sting. So I don't know what that was, maybe about 2 to 3 seconds. That's something that you need to be really careful about with dry ice. Now, I've seen videos before and I've seen people take this, they'll put it in their mouth and they'll do the same thing. They'll move it around and they'll blow out, you know, smoke, carbon dioxide smoke. Don't do that. That's not very smart. All right, so the safety of dry ice, please be safe.